try a novel alternative of turning the mic on this week. See how we get on. Welcome everyone, welcome to the Friday night live stream. We're here, Aquarium Adventures, talk about random nonsense on a Friday evening and maybe even a little bit of fishy chat. Hopefully the internet gods are on our side tonight and we won't have any dropouts like the last couple of weeks, but we'll see how we get on. As is becoming the standard, I have prepared nothing, so hopefully I'll have some good questions from your good selves out there and we can talk about plans for the weekend, plans for the week ahead, what you've been up to, what fishy treats you've been enjoying, anything that's happened on the internet that has piqued your interest, that merits discussion. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, if you are new here, welcome. This is the Aquarium Adventures channel where we talk about all things aquatic. I make videos, usually at least one a week, about my fish room, about my fish tanks, about whatever it is that's going on. I'm just a plain old hobbyist. I make no claims to be an expert at anything. But if that's your kind of thing, then there's a button down there you can click which will let you subscribe to the channel, do all the notifications, and make sure you come and watch some videos. That'd been really nice to hear from you. So I think I've got a graphic for that and everything. Ta-da! So that would be quite nice. Anyway, let's see who we've got in. I'm assuming people can hear me. I should probably check that quite quickly, or I could have been rambling on. We'll see. Oh, we've got a new thing to test as well. I'm quite excited about this. Let's see. Haha, it worked. It's there. So now, typing emojis won't be written out in text when I try and display them on stream. So we should see you, your face, your membership status, and your comment all down below. If you write War and Peace, it's still a little bit janky, but hopefully we'll catch up. But Noodle Sandwich, you have the pleasure of being the first to try the new comment system. So thank you very much. Who else have we got in here? It's quite good as well because I shouldn't miss any messages because it then dulls out the ones I've already read, if that makes sense. No one cares. Shut up, Graham. Michelle says hi everyone. Hi Michelle. Callum's in. Good evening. Kaylee says good evening all. Welcome Kaylee. See, if you are new, or even if you're not new, but you just, I don't know, you've decided you've got far too much money, there is a join button down there. If you join as a member, there's 2 levels of membership. One of them, you get access to all these emojis, like, not there, there. It's a whole bunch of them. Special emojis just for special people. And if you join as a hero member, you also get 10% off everything at my website. That's aquariumadventures.co.uk, as well as the safe knowledge that you're making me feel very happy and helping me make more videos and paying for some of the great expense. But anyway, that's enough shilling. Ahoy there, adventurers, says Sharpies Fishing Phantoms. Ahoy there yourself. Mark's here as well. Scott's in. Steve Epps, evening all, new to chat but lurked in the streams for a while. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm glad you joined us. I thought that was a new name I hadn't recognised before, but welcome. If there's anything you want to know, it's an open book. That's not what I meant to say. It's an open forum. It doesn't have to be about fish. Chat away. I'm sure something's going to be going catastrophically. Is that a word? Catastrophically, that's the word I'm grasping for. What with it being Friday the 13th, but we'll see how we get on. Michelle's still here. Callum's here. David's here. Michelle's saying hello to everyone, being very polite. Lanks Fishkeeper, we've got in. Silver Surfer with the big thumbs up. Hello yourself. I feel like I'm not looking at the camera while I'm reading the comments, so we might have to refine this system somewhat. But we'll see how we go on. Does that make a difference? Oh, I don't know. Oh no, chat's got a mind of its own again. Where did we get to? Loud and clear. That's what we like to hear. Courtney's in. Skinzarno. Oh, that's a nice question to ask. It is a nice hoodie, isn't it? Let me move the mic out of the way so you can see it properly. This is one of the range of Aquarium Adventures merch that you can buy on my website. There's actually two ways you can buy them. So this is properly... everything's in the way now, so you can't actually see it. Is that any better? No, now we've got the focus thing again. Come on, camera, you can do it. This is all... Stop focusing on the tank and the discus. Proper embroidery. And this hoodie has been washed about a bazillion times, and it's still retained all its colours. Really happy with the quality of this. So the hoodies and the t-shirts that are on my website, they're all from Phil, friend of the channel. It's Elite logos. They're printed to order, and they're all embroidered. But there is also a Spreadshirt shop where you can get all manner of things like bags, mouse mats, bibs, dog bandanas, and various other things. So Phil is currently considering the new Oma Balls design to see whether we can get that embroidered or printed. But if not, we'll just go for the Spreadshirt option, because that can just be, it's like a printed t-shirt or something like that. So we'll get it on there. But thank you for bringing that up. Give me a chance to shill. That's always nice. Callum, not a single tank set up at the house at the moment, making room for my special delivery in a few weeks. So that's quite depressing, isn't it? I remember when we first moved in here and not having any of my tanks and they're all being over in a different place. It's just, you get antsy. So I wish you all the best for when it turns up. If you haven't been following along, Callum's been experiencing the joy of trying to sell things on Facebook recently. Selling his old tank to upgrade for a bigger one. And I do mean that sarcastically. Mickey's in. Hello, Mickey. There we go. Hi from Doncaster. Hi from Sheffield. Look at that, Mickey with the link straight away. That's what we like to see. Christine survived teaching middle school on Friday the 13th. I know, I was almost convinced that something would go wrong. And something almost did go wrong. I almost fell asleep and missed this. I've now reached an age where I quite often think to myself, I'll just rest my eyes, and then 4 hours passes by. But luckily, we're here. So far, the internet hasn't dropped out. I've got green lights everywhere. It's claiming it to be good, so we'll see how we get on. And I managed to scare Courtney with my thumbnail for the video. Andy's in. Skiller, nice to see you. Ben Scott says happy Friday the 13th. Novo per Kelly, what are we going to argue about tonight? Hans is back. DJ Ferrari, evening from Belfast. Oh, Belfast, we've got a winner then for furthest away person already. I suspect you might be beaten by some of our more... Oh no, Hans is here. He's already beaten you, hasn't he? For those of you who are new, we like to run a competition to see who's the furthest away viewer. Courtney applying for demotion from moderator. I think you deserve the rest, yes, if you've just completed a dissertation. Do I still have the pun button? You'll have to test me and see if you can make me laugh. There you go, challenge for the night. Can you make me laugh with a fish-based pun or joke? Or shall we open up the scope a bit and do any old jokes? And then we'll test whether the button works or not. Good evening from Oban. I've just seen it's many a childhood holiday. Not many, probably 2. We've got a question already. So if you stick your questions, if you do it at Aquarium Adventures, I don't know if it shows up like that, but it shows up on my screen as bright orange. So if you write at Aquarium Adventures like Scott's done there, I'll have a better chance of seeing it. But I'm old, I miss things. Best carpet plants without CO2 for me is dwarf hairgrass and Monte Carlo. Both the things I would probably have gone with. I've had great success with... I've got a terrible way of explaining this. I've got great success with a plant I thought was Juncus repens, which created quite a thick carpet of maybe, I don't know, a couple of inches, if not more. But then somebody told me it wasn't Juncus repens, and now I can't remember what it actually was. But my old tank, I'll see if I can find a picture of it. I really loved that, because it was proper green and lush. Looked like Juncus repens, but who knows. Where is Hass? I'm in Finland. He's in Sweden? Yes, Sweden. Mickey won big on the Euro Millions the other night. Right, share the wealth then. I won hee-haw. We ended up having a big family discussion about how we would spend our winnings just because I spent £2.50 on the Euro Millions. It's very disappointing playing the lottery, isn't it? Especially when you don't win. Best Friday night tipples. I've lost my Friday night tipple this week. Pepsi Max, made in the soda stream again. I'm on a health kick, trying to shed a few pounds, so the beer's gone out the window. So only delicious Pepsi Max for me for a few weeks. So Sweden versus Finland, that's what we need to do. Finland's going to be further away than Sweden, isn't it? Let's see. Distance. Sheffield to Sweden. That can't be right. Oh yeah, 1,420 miles. Sheffield to Finland. 1,999 miles. Not quite 2,000. Yeah. Because Finland's over a bit from Sweden, isn't it? Too early for rude jokes? Definitely not. You won the Euro Million. Was that an attempt at a joke? Sorry. I'm only coding. I don't get it. Oh no. Maybe I need to drink more beer. I'm only coding as in joking. There might be a language barrier. But it's a fishy pun attempt. You don't get the whole hog for that one. Goldwater Aquatics, howdy fishy friends, howdy yourself, how are you doing? Today, see, this is one of my... So, Skilla says, today I watched your half-barrel pond video afterwards and immediately went out to my LFS for one, and then immediately put off by the solar pump options. Left with my tail between my legs and a tear in my eye. Yeah, I have no idea why that video does so well. It does quite well. It gets a lot of views and I get a lot of comments about it. It's just a shame that there's one like 3 weeks later of me going, this pond is rubbish. This solar pump is rubbish. But there are a lot better solar pump options even now, because I think that video might be 2 years old, if that. and they were truly dreadful. But I got a little pump for like a fountain that's out in the garden. That pumps a poop ton of water. I think that would do quite well in a solar pond. Definitely, there are solar panels which are dirt cheap compared to what they were even like 3, 4, 5 years ago. There's less, like a tenth of the cost for a decent little solar panel. So as long as you don't mind having a solar panel or have somewhere to put it, the challenging bit I found is finding a battery, or not finding a battery, but something that will run off a battery that will trickle charge it as well with the solar panel. So I've yet to find something that I'm completely happy with, because I want to have a little pond out there and run like an air pump and have it, even like a sponge filter or something like that, even have it running during the day off the sun, but then battery to get it through the night, even limping through the night, and then charge up again during the day. Obviously more of a challenge during winter, but I think it should be possible given a big enough battery. But yeah, I've not quite got that. So it's a video I've been planning for a long time, because the only reason I haven't made it is because I can't find all the bits that I want to make it good. But the solar panel part of it, that seems to be so they're just so much more efficient for the size these days. I think because there's been a lot of investment obviously in the technology, with everyone now getting solar panels on their roof and things. That part's there, it's just the rest of it I'm not quite sure about. But the little half barrel ponds, they're great, they're just not brilliant for fish, that's all. To be fair, Pepsi Max is decent, definitely. It's more than decent. It's like amber from the gods. I told my sister-in-law I'd give them 10 million quid if I won the 184 million euro lottery. She said, tight arse. Yeah. We had discussions about that. So it turns out my kids are quite generous. They wanted to give away 100 million of the 184 million to good causes. And I was a bit like, I don't know about that. But yeah, if anybody does win it, I'll be happy with one. That'll do me. Ben Keats, no, we're on the Pepsi Max tonight, not the beers, sorry. Albino Corridorus spawned again this morning. Anyone had a spawn? Oh, I've not checked the fish room today. They tend to... I've got my corries are in with my angelfish at the moment, so even if they have, they'll be immediately eaten, so maybe not. Coldwater Aquatics is doing fabulous. Why are you fabulous? Why are you not just normal? I demand to know why you're fabulous. Yeah, how are you getting on with your streaming? I noticed last week that we were all looking at your... Was it last week or the week before? We were all looking at your phone menu because you were having some trouble. Did you get that sorted in the end? If you don't know, Coldwater Aquatics is another aquatic-based channel. Surprise, surprise, given the name. You can check them out usually after this stream. He tends to stream at... Well, here in the UK it's at 11, but I think it's obviously a bit earlier over there. So if you want to carry on your fish keeping junket, head over there afterwards. Am I just making up words now today? Ben with all the questions. I like it, keep it coming. Ben Scott, ever kept any reptiles or amphibians? Yes. So currently I think we've got 2 leopard geckos. But in the past, I've had snakes, I've had skinks, so we had a blue-tongued skink, we had a corn snake, kept giant African land snails for a while, kept various types of tree frogs for a while, various smaller lizards like anoles and things like that. Yeah, I think it kind of goes hand in hand with aquatics, that a lot of people are a bit into reptiles, maybe. I would probably have more, but we just got to the point where we were basically running a zoo, and I thought it's time to scale back. So as everything died, we just left it like that. But I forgot what the name of the thing was now. The leopard gecko, sorry. I think we were trying to work out how old they are. I think they're like maybe even 16 years old, something like that. They just won't die. Not that I'm trying to kill them, obviously. You know what happened the last time you pumped a poop ton into the fish room? Yeah, I need to use a different term for that, don't I? Nightbot says, how's the human performing? I've got a thumbs up, a good seal of approval from Coldwater Aquatics. Ever kept cold water fish, not goldfish? Really love paradise fish. Been out the game for a while and not seen any recently. They seem to be fairly common round about here. So I think last couple of... So Wentworth, there's a garden centre near here called Wentworth that has an aquatic section. They had them in there last time I was in there. Yeah. I don't look out for them. I mean, it's just one that's never quite done it for me yet, but maybe I need to be reconvinced, just much like gouramis. I'm not the greatest fan of gouramis, but people are trying to turn me, and I think I could fall for that. Not fall for it, try to trick me. I think I could get into that, so maybe paradise fish need another look. But I have kept cold water fish, or maybe it's not cold water, maybe they're temperate water fishes. Things like I've forgotten the name of it now. White clouds, mountain minnows. I think they're fantastic fish. I'm trying to think what other non-goldfish cold water fish I've kept. I know I have kept some snakeheads at the moment. Technically, I suppose you could say they were cold water fish, as in I don't have a heater in with them, but they're more seasonal than cold water. You've challenged my brain trying to remember.
Oh, my balls.
Oh, my balls. I think Noodle Sandwich just likes to do that because he likes the sound. If you are new here, that's a picture of me from a recent video getting stuck in the wall between my garage and basement. Oh, we've got a joke. What do you call a Jamaican fish keeper? Simon. Don't know if that deserved it. I went fishing today. Much better day than working. Oh God, the day I had today. I would have rather done anything than work. It's not been a good week for me at work. It's always bad when they actually make you work for a living, isn't it? So I wish I could have come with you. Why was the fish embarrassed? Because the seaweed. Oh dear, they're not good ones so far. We caught 30 fish and had a blast. 30 fish. What kind of fishing is that? So when I go fishing, it's for like, well, I suppose I was going to say over in the UK they all do carp fishing, but that's not true at all. There's all types of people go fishing, but my type of fishing is generally like carp fishing, where you spend all day, or pike in the winter, spend all day at the banks doing nothing and catching nothing quite often, but at least you're outside and you're not at work, like you say. Hey, got it sorted. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Mini zoo for Kaylee as well. Yeah, at one point we must have had 3 or 4 Vivs and various other containers and tanks, and oh yeah, we did get a bit of a reputation for, like, when the kids were little and they had all the friends round for like the third birthday parties and all the parents would come round, they'd be a bit like, okay, you have a lot of weird things. Bunny says, I won't be on here long, getting ready to go on Hippie John the Fisherman stream tonight. It's my first. Ooh, congratulations. Good luck to you. Yeah, there's someone that keeps a lot of cold water fish. NJW ordered the Zis blender and a few more bits from VM Aquatics at 4 o'clock today and got an email saying delivery due tomorrow morning. That is quick. Yeah, when they reached out to me and asked me if they wanted one, I said yes, and everything was here like the next day, I think. So I'm glad you get a good positive experience. I always like it whenever I can, if I share something, that if people let me know whether they get on well with it or they don't get on well with it. Because one of my big worries is that I do one of these like sponsor day type shout out things, and a few people use it and it turns out to be a bad experience, because nobody wants that. We don't want to give out bad experiences. But the guy that I dealt with, he was nice and open, got back to me quickly with my questions, didn't ask for anything. Not like the man about the water test kit. He was a bit grumpy. But yeah, I'm glad. And this blender thing is a good bit of kit. So, and I hope you use my link, because then I might get 5p off your sale. No, apparently not. Oh well. You can go. I'm only kidding. So, if you ever see a sponsor spot with me, I tend to go for things that I know about rather than just taking the money or just taking the free thing. So that was one of my rare ventures out where I didn't know them all that well. But especially with these small independent tradery type shops, I like to try and help as much as I can, because I'm just an idiot with a camera talking nonsense most of the time. So why wouldn't I try and help out someone who's trying to make my hobby better? Which is why I always try and give shout outs to like Fishman Aquatics and do a lot of filming and stuff with them, because good guys trying hard. Why wouldn't you? Speaking to someone else who reached out to try and see if we can work out some ideas. The problem with a lot of this is trying to think of a good idea, because generally it's tough to make a review video do well, because unless that product's really niche or new or exciting in some way, it's man looks at thing and talks about thing. It could be quite off-putting. That's why I was kind of on the fence about the VM Aquatics one, because the Zis blenders, it's been done to death, it's been reviewed to death. It seems to be really popular over in America, but flip side, practically in reality, I needed to start creating some brine shrimp. So yeah, I felt a little bit dirty about that, but hopefully it'll work out well. Little sandwich. Oh, look at that! That's a fancy thing there. The super chat with the 99p. Oh, I'm loving this. Wentworth is great. My friend supplies their Discus. He's a local breeder. Who would that be? I might know him, because I thought I knew all the local breeders in and around Sheffield. And I've never noticed Discus at Wentworth. Rob's Aquarium Room, welcome to the chat. Nice to see you. The trick is to remember Norway, Sweden, Finland, non-sufficient funds, west to east. Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Bunny Viper's off. See ya. Danios, that was the other one I was thinking of. Sorry, I've probably just blown everyone's eardrums there. Danios, I've kept them before. I made a whole videos about Danios and called them... I had a brain fart and started calling them other things. How's the brine shrimp hatching doing? It's going actually quite well. I've been kind of cycling it on a... It seems to be working for me on a 2-day cycle. So if I kind of fill it up in the morning of one day, and then 2 days after that. Well, it's kind of afternoon I'm doing it, I suppose, so it's not quite 48 hours that I'm doing that on, but I'm just doing it again and again and again. And seem to get a really good hatch rate out of the eggs that they gave me. So if you are interested and don't want to buy the Zis breeder, I mean, because it is quite expensive, but it's quite a good bit of kit. But if you don't want to pay for that and you want to do it DIY, it's a good place to go for your eggs, VM Aquatics, because they seem to be quite good. I always remember having quite a lot of the empty or dead ones would all congregate quite early. So that's how you can tell that they haven't gone. But I'm not seeing any of that with this, or very, very small amount of it. So yeah, seems to be doing well. Rice fish are a cold water fish, obviously, but I have not kept them. I have been interested in getting them, but haven't managed to get any yet. It's just one of those things where I've got to... So much to do, so many tanks to fill. And I also don't want to go out and just buy 10 billion fish and fill every tank. And I want to just slowly build everything up. I've still got a panel of glass sat in my garage needing to be lifted into a tank. I need to get on with that, but it's finding the hours in the day. Nearly got me there. Phil McCracken has a question. White clouds are great no heater fish. Yes, I love white clouds, especially. Well, I was going to say especially the gold ones, but both of them equally. I think they're fantastic. I'm definitely going to get a tank full of them and start getting a big colony of them going. Shallow water bobbing fishing with worms, mostly sunfish, but also some bass and some shiners. If you aren't catching carp, you're doing it wrong. I think that's the best way to do it. It's where you just sit on the bank and drink beer. Ever thought about UK natural tank? I have, and I will probably do one fairly soon. Minnows, sticklebacks, shopping trolleys, beer cans, yep, all that good stuff. Because I used to live on the banks of a river, so we would, what was it, a year ago, we made a video about putting in some little traps and catching some, seeing what was in the river and catching some of them, and I thought, that'd be perfect. I mean, I think it's slightly illegal to do that and take them home and keep them, but you can get them in the trade, like sticklebacks and things like that. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in doing that. Brought 4 home, 3 pumpkin seed sunfish and a hybrid, and they put them in our ponds. Yeah, cool. Where do fish keep their money? In a riverbank. Oh, not getting one for that. We had that last week. What did the little shark say to the big shark? Oh, what big jaws you have. I'm not getting it. Here, Reg, some dog biscuits, cold water, they'll hook themselves. They're not where I go fishing. Spend bleeding fortune and equipment, baits. No, it's not having any of it. As much as it looks cool and works well, I still feel like the blender is really expensive. There's no getting away from it. It is expensive. It is essentially a jug. And what does it cost? 40 quid, something like that. But, you know, everyone needs something to waste their money on. Just trying to double check how much it actually is. Now I can't find it. It's because I'm on the wrong website. Oh dear. Not going to find it there, am I? And it's not without its problems either. It's got... Well, I'm just going to rehash the video. I've made the video. 35 quid it is at the moment. on vmaquatics.com. Use the link in the description of the video that I made a while back. The stand, at first I was like, oh, there's nothing wrong with the stand, it's very stable, it's great, but it doesn't allow you to get anything out of the thing very easily, so that was a bit of a I've also, now I've been using the sieve for a while. I think it will be better as a feeding cup rather than a sieve because it gets clogged so quickly. But I think they make different thicknesses of the holes. That's not the word I'm going for. Noodle Sandwich is off out for some beers, lucky bugger. Enjoy yourself. Did I delete the review video by accident, or is it just unlisted? It shouldn't be either. Let's have a look. YouTube Studio, come on, you can do it. No, it's still there. It's the last video that I put up. It's not got. No, this is a review for the Zis breeder in the title. It's the one that's got the yum thumbnail about live foods. But yeah, it's still there, just doing terribly. So I was a bit worried about that not doing well, because it was a bit of a it's a tough subject unless you're actually feeding things. So that video did not do the best, let's put it that way. I'll just find a link for that actually, just so I can show you all. And if you go into there, so I'll put a link to that video in the chat, so you know, if you get bored of me whittering on now, go and watch that video again, bump up its numbers a little bit. If you have to move house again, what would you do differently, if anything? The rental of the flat was brilliant, gave you a nice buffer, enjoyed those videos. Yeah, it was more out of necessity. I think I would definitely... I didn't enjoy doing that. That was proper stressful. I would probably use my time better and get rid of the fish. Whether that be... it'd be gut-wrenching to do it, but I'd try and... I'm now talking myself into the same argument I had that ended up with me buying a flat so I could keep my fish in it. I wanted to keep my discus and then get rid of the rest of the fish, and then I couldn't convince myself that I didn't want every fish that I had, so that's how I ended up doing that. But I don't know how people move fish rooms in like one big go, because it took me days to get the tank set back up again, and it was just been so stressful moving all the tanks on the day, because either me or the removal men would have broken some of the tanks, and then you'd have nothing to put the fish into when you got to the other end. So although it was expensive, although it was a complete ball ache, because I had to drive like all the way over to the other side of shit. Well, it was Rotherham. I had to drive all the way over there every day to go and check and feed the fish, make sure I wasn't flooding the place, I wasn't setting fire to it, I didn't know what the electrics were like, I had to go and feed the fish obviously and all those good things. But it was kind of the best option, but if I could find someone that would temporarily house my fish, or someone a bit closer, that would have been better. If I'd known someone that had a garage or something like that was empty, that had space for me to set up a fish room somewhere a bit closer, that would have been probably the ideal. But yeah, just don't move house. If you've got loads of fish tanks, just don't move house. It's much easier. I still feel like, even though I did that, when I set back up my fish room, it just felt like because I did get rid of quite a lot of fish to start the move. I may as well have just got rid of all of them and started again, as much as it would have pained me to do so. I would have saved enough money to buy them all over again by not having to rent a flat for as long as I had to rent it. And it was dirt cheap, the renting of that flat, but still, the expense of doing all that, in hindsight, I don't think it was my greatest idea, but I couldn't think of anything better at the time. But what else would I do differently? I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else to do differently at the time, and as soon as it was over, I immediately stopped thinking about it because it was stressing the hell out of me. So I guess I would probably do everything the same. It might be nicer to have, so I had to wait a long time to get power and things like that sorted. I might have tried to do that a little bit quicker. I should have reached out for help quicker. And the Fisherman Aquatics guys came over to help me sort out my fish room. And although it doesn't feel like we did that much, that would have taken me weeks to get around. I mean, I'm doing it now. I've got a big massive pane of glass that's just sat on the floor looking at me. I keep going, yeah, I'll need to get that. I'll do something about that tomorrow. And then the next day I go, oh God, that's still there. I'll do something about that tomorrow. I'm running out of hours in the day to achieve all the things that I need to do in a day. So I'd change, maybe I'd have a project manager. That might be what I'm missing out on. Oh, we've got Steiner in. He's from Norway. Good evening. So what's that? We've got Finland, Sweden and Norway. We've got quite the Scandinavian attendance tonight. Someone comes up with a good fish joke, let me know. Oh dear. One of the cool 3D background. Oh, I was looking at them not that long ago. Yes, I agree. I've seen them somewhere else as well. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. These things. So Ceramic Nature, I think I saw them from Ceramic Nature. And I was quite interested in them. They're not cheap. But they're kind of cool. I have had some like this. Ahoy! Thank you, NJW, for the 179 super chat. That just does make me laugh every time I hear that. I had something very similar to this one in my old Discus tank. But look at that, 80 by 40, 105 pounds. If I was to put this in any of my bigger tanks, that would bankrupt me. But they are pretty cool. So I do really like the idea of these, but they're just very expensive. But by all accounts, entirely worth it because they're really good quality as well. I've spoken to a couple of people who have them, not necessarily through VM Aquatics, but just using that company that makes them, that they're good quality. A lot of the cheaper ones are quite thin, don't stick down well, or stay in place well, are poorly measured, float, all these kind of things, whereas they seem to be the real deal. So yes, it would look cool in my Congo tank. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about it for, rather than the brickwork background. The Congo tank, I think we're going to have a rethink on that one as well. On the lighting, I think I'm falling out of love with the lighting. But to go back to the earlier point, and maybe make a DIY one. So I've got my little Play-Doh soldering iron out, some polystyrene sheets. I was trying some modelling for that very reason, to see whether or not that would work. And I think it might work if I was in any way artistic. So my plan was to try and carve out kind of rock with some roots, maybe get it all textured in some polystyrene, paint it, clear coat it all, and use that as a background. But I refer you to my earlier problem of there aren't enough hours in the day for me to do all the things that need to be done in the day. I just need to retire, Can you go and find like a couple of million people to subscribe to my channel so as I don't have to go to work anymore? I can just make fish videos all the day. Right, so let's catch up. I think we're getting a little bit behind. I have a good joke. 1,000 bristlenose plex. Yes, that might be a... Oh, Odessa barbs. There's a fish that I do like. I think they're really cool looking fish. That might be something that comes into the fish room one day. I didn't know they were cold water fish, to be honest. I just like the look of them. See, this is how much of an idiot I am. DJ Ferrari 57, are you still breeding discus? Not like commercially or anything, but if they breed, then technically I have discus eggs at the moment, so does that mean I'm breeding discus? Then I don't have them in breeding setups at the moment, but I have some discus of breeding age and starting to pair off, so we might be getting there. That's the whole reason behind wanting to start up with the brine shrimp filtering again, is I wanted to get more live foods to get more fish into breeding condition, including the discus. I've covered the big tank. The big tank's doing absolutely zero because of this idiot. It's not moved on at all, and I'm very sorry everyone, I will get round to it. Any update on the mega tank? No, sorry. I need to do more work. I'll get to it. Maybe we should have an Aquarium Adventures Day. You can all come over and help me and we'll just knock it all out in an hour. Where's my drink? With a very dry throat. ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. What's up, Fish Fam? What's up yourself? Hello there. Pardon me. For some reason your thing's not showing up.
Oh, my balls.
Oh, my balls are again. Oh, ABC Aquatics donated $20 through Super Chat. Thank you very much. Wow. That's a lot of money. Right, I'm sorry if I'm skipping some comments. I'm trying to get down to the bottom. Any news on your mega tank? I'm sorry, people. Hey, which country did the fish go on for their holidays? Finland. That was a good effort. If you had to set up one live food colony with I'm a Lazy Git as the number one drawback, what would it be? It would probably be I'm thinking about this very carefully because I am indeed a very lazy git. So, brine shrimp? No, there is an element of faffery there. You have to change water, you have to put in salt, you have to mix things around. Oh, it's a proper faff. Earthworms? Easy as hell, but I haven't had great success keeping colonies going long term. So I tend to get a couple of months out of my earthworm farms before either I feed them all or they die off for some other reason. White worms, they're probably the easiest because they don't really have to do anything. But they can be a bit stinky and a bit faffy. The number one for easiest is probably mealworms or something along those lines. Mealworms, roaches, little crickets, that kind of thing. Because for that, well, I'll go for mealworms because, and some people don't like mealworms because they say they shouldn't be fed to fish because the exoskeletons are too tough for some fish and all that. So if it's a fish that will be able to eat mealworms without problem, mealworms. You can keep one little tub of mealworms going indefinitely, I think. I've had one going for months and months and months and months and months. I've never bought any more. I often forget to do anything with it, so it'll sit for days, if not a whole week, without even being looked at, never mind fed or anything. Just every now and again I throw in a bit of cucumber or a carrot or some kind of sustenance. and they just multiply. They just come straight back up again, and I feed them all the time to the fish, and I never run out. So I think that's the number one. If you are properly lazy like what I am, I'd go with mealworms. White worms, that's probably a second, because they're quite easy to look after. They've just got a little bit of a... They live on the ledge of a colony being fine for ages, and then for no apparent reason, or that's what excuse I'm going with, for no apparent reason they'll just go and crash and dead and everything's gone. So you should really change your colony or divide it every so often to make sure that doesn't happen. But with the mealworms, that's been fine. Crickets, little crickets and even locusts and things like that, they're fine. They just tend to die off a little bit easier, whereas the mealworms seem to be indestructible, so I'd go with that. Thank you, Nightbot, for making everyone giving me a thumbs up. White worms are great lazy man's life food. I'm even to keep them going. Yeah, they're good. Oh, a bucket left outside with rainwater and grow mosquito larvae. That is a good call. Yeah, that's quite easy. I really felt that stress on me. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I don't like to think about it too often. ABC just picked up 15 tanks between yesterday and today. 10 gallons, 420 longs, and a 5.5 gallons. That's a ready-made fish room there and then. What are you planning to keep in there? That sounds quite good. Just take comfort and start again, yeah. Do you know, the sparkly walls in that flat that I rented, that was like the star of the show for quite a while. Everybody seemed to like them. Got loads of comments about the sparkly walls. I had loads of people going, oh yeah, I really like them, I might get them. Where do you know where they got them from? I had people emailing me asking me to ask the guy where he got them from. Oh, and another from Denmark. We really have got the Scandinavian contingent in tonight. NGW with the £1.79 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Why do Norway put barcodes on their warships? So they can scan the Navy in. Very good. Aquarium Adventures, you have a question from Ben Oh dear. She got me. There are two fish in the tank. One says to the other, do you know how to drive this thing? Oh, you can't hear the Oma balls. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I have muted the desktop. It's only me that gets to hear the Oma balls so far. Okay, any further super chats that come in, that wasn't a ploy to get you to do it all again. You shall now hear the Oma balls from now on. Or you should do. So I'm sorry that you couldn't hear my balls. I don't know how I do that every time I make myself laugh. I feel like a comedian. I've seen people use expanding foam and concrete to make a background. Yeah, I was going to do it with... I watched a couple of videos. No original thought has ever entered this brain or left it. Where people had like carved it out and then used like a thin concrete paint almost to paint it on like that, and then painted the concrete and then used like an epoxy resin over the top of that to seal it all in and make it water safe or fish safe. And the results look really good, so that's what I was going to try and do. So I might, over the school holidays or something. Right, kids, art project time. Let's see what we can do. Really hard to get baby brine shrimp, etc. in Belfast. Oh, buy it online. Will they not ship there? ABC buying me an extra hour in the day. Thank you very much. If only it was that simple. Always had a thought in my head with those 3D backgrounds, but with a hang-on shelf basket on the back of the tank with open top, stick the background to the basket with peace lilies growing out. I have to read that again. Always had the thought in the head. Those 3D backgrounds, but with a hang-on shelf. Oh, right, yeah. A lot of them will do, like if they're really 3D, they'll have space in the back for like your heater or filter inlets and outlets, so you can run everything behind it. I've seen that quite a lot. It's a fantastic idea for like cleaning it out. Cleaning out the tank of equipment so it just looks a lot more natural. That's definitely what I would be wanting to do. Good excuse for FishyCon, get everyone round to mine and help sort things. Yeah, maybe we'll have a FishyCon. I think I told you the other week I'm getting down to barbecuing things, so you can all come round for a barbecue and help me lift my glass into my tank. Any news of Mega Tank? Sorry. Any news on? Oh, right, very funny. Mega Tank has been towed away by a Ukrainian tractor. Jennifer, nice to see you again. Hi, Cox, just popping in. I can tonight. Hope you're not working too hard. I haven't heard much about your Mega Tank. It must be fully complete. Have you not seen the video, Mickey? My friend is LG Discus of Rotherham. Oh, right, I have heard of them. I think they also supply sustainable aquatics, was it? Or they did for a while, I think. Lazy is a pro, not a con. Lazy will figure out ways to make stuff simpler. Yes, there's a famous saying around that, which I just can't remember at the time, but it's always employ... The gist of it is always employ a lazy person, because they'll figure out the most efficient way to do anything. And I think it's good for fail-safing things. If you're lazy, you have to treat yourself as the laziest person in the world when you're coming up with new plans to do things, because you think, oh yeah, this will be dead easy. It's like getting a dog. Oh, I'd love to get a dog. Well, I'll take it for walks every day. And then you're like, I have to take it for another walk. If you do it within a lazy person's mindset, you can design things a lot better that way, because you're like, I will get bored of this, I will get tired of that. What's the best way I can do that now? So while I've still got my enthusiasm up front, how can I build this process, this thing, whatever it is, whether this is a life lesson for everyone. You don't have to just use this for fish keeping, but build the process for the task you're trying to achieve when you've still got the enthusiasm for it, with the lazy man's mindset, because it will pay dividends in the future. Fish food flakes. Is there any difference between pond flakes or aquarium flakes? Only, I almost said flavours, that's not the word I was going for. Only in composition. So the aquarium flakes tend to be a bit heavier in certain ingredients, whereas the pond flakes will just be the equivalent of goldfish pellets in flake form. Well, it's just wheat germ, it's just this, it's just that, where aquarium flakes tend to have a little bit more. But it's been a long time since I looked at pond flakes, or didn't even know there were pond flakes, if I'm completely honest. But I suspect with the rise of the koi hobby in the last few years, if there's not some super duper pond flakes out there now that would be just fine for aquarium flakes, just look at the composition of them. Flakes are flakes, in my opinion, as long as they've got the right ingredients. So if you're wanting to get more spirulina into the fish diet, or you're wanting to get more krill in, or you're wanting to get whatever, then find a flake that suits your needs, and it'll be fine. All available on aquariumadventures.co.uk. I'll happily rebrand some of my flakes to be pond flakes, if that helps. Expanding on my Native American, North American native breeding projects. Very cool. I shall have to come and check you out. I like native breeding projects. I like breeding projects of all types. If I had two fish, I would name them 1 and 2. If one died, I would still have 2. Oh, ouch. No, my finger was hovering over the button there, but no, that doesn't deserve it. Uh, Jennifer, old panda face. Currently breeding rainbow shiners, mountain red-belly dace, saffron shiners, and Piedmont, that's a word that I'm probably mangling, shiners, expanding into yellowfish shiners, greenhead shiners, bluefin killifish, and pumpkin seed sunfish. That is quite the list. I doubt I'd even be able to pick out half of them from pictures. So I'm definitely going to have to come and check out your channel. Ever thought about a second-hand hot tub pump to heat and run your mega tank? I had not, if I'm completely honest. A hot tub pump to heat and run your mega tank. What even is a hot tub pump, and why would that be special? Hot tub pump. I'm just looking on Google now. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So, my initial thought for a pump was the Giabo one that I already use for my big display tank, which still isn't fixed. But a pump's a pump, I guess. I do like the extra features of things like that. The Giabo one, because you can have feeding modes and all that kind of stuff. It's the noise would be my biggest concern. So I don't know how noisy. I've only ever been in a hot tub once, or near a hot tub once. I didn't notice it being especially noisy. But my honest answer is I haven't thought about it, but that doesn't mean I've ruled it out or anything like that. I'll definitely think about it. They don't all seem that much cheaper than the Aquarium pump equivalent, but pump's a pump. I need to think about that one. That's the one. Scott says, I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. That's why I'm currently employed. So one of my earlier things in my career was a thing called Six Sigma, and it's all about, it's used in the aerospace industry a lot, and other industries started to adopt it, where it's all about opportunities for failure. So if you do something 1,000,000 times, how many times will it fail, and designing your processes around that. Where am I going with this? I've now turned into the most boring man alive. Right, we'll move on. Sorry. How many discus can you put in 1,000 litres and sump on 200 litres? Ooh, there's a question. So you're going to make me do some maths and calculation. A lot. Let's go with that. 1,000 litres is a lot. So as many as you want, I would say. As many as you want before you run out of money to buy them all. I don't really like these rules that say, oh right, it's 50 litres for the first fish and then 30 litres for every fish after that. But I would say I'd be happy enough. I'm trying to do some calculations in my head. But yeah, like 50, 60, 70, something along those lines. If you can filter it, there'd be plenty of space for them and would look pretty awesome. says, meaning the whole unit as it heats and pumps. You don't need the air as that's the noise. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. I had started looking and I kind of already made my mind up, so I will have another look. I was going to get the Giabo pump. I was going to get like almost like an immersion heater rather than an aquarium heater. But I've since found a load of heaters that I used to have and decided to start heating the room, so I might not have to heat the tank all that much either. So I could probably get away with some less powerful heaters. And like I say, the Giabo pump, that I just really like it. I really rate it. It's got good longevity. I tried and tested. I was looking on Facebook a while back, and somebody had suggested, I think it was on a pond, it was when I was on my pond spree and I was going to get a pond, somebody suggested that pump to run somebody's pond, and everybody was turning their nose up. They're going, "Oh, you buy cheap crap, you're going to get cheap crap reliability and all that kind of stuff." And I was like, that's the pump I've got. It's brilliant. Why are you all saying this? But that's the koi keeper. The koi keepers are very snooty, shall we say, because there was a load of people saying, I've been on that pump for 6 years and it's not failed me once. Whereas all these guys that are running their Oasi, I can't even remember what the name of their pumps are, but all these fancy big pond pumps that are just a pump's a pump. I'm not lazy, I'm energy efficient. I've used that one myself a few times. You could just use the Giabo pump and a hot tub heater. It's an inline heater, so it's super efficient. Inline heaters for efficiency. So I'm all about efficiency these days. I'll need to look into that. I didn't think about inline heaters before. I found fish flakes are good to gut load for your cricket and locust to feed your reptiles, etc. Excellent idea. I do quite often sprinkle some fish food in my mealworms and stuff. Because you're right, feed them well, you feed your fish well. Every week, Paul, I read that as Paul McCartney and I'm going, oh my god, he's going to come and sing Hey Jude at us. Hello Paul, welcome back. Where did we get to? I love Giabo products. I also love Giabo products. I think they're great. I think they're really good quality, really good value. I can't say a bad word against them. Let's put it like that.
Oh, my balls.
Oh, my balls. What's happened there? Steiner has donated 219 NOx through Super Chat. Thank you very much, Steiner. Only to support you. I appreciate that. It's much deserved. And did you hear it that time? Thank you. It both heartens my soul and puts me off when people super chat, 'cause I go, oh, I can't believe it. Thank you. How to increase profit. Write koi on the side of the box and add a 0 to the price. Exactly. I think they're mental, some of these people. What video was it I was watching recently about? I think it may have been the Koi Whisperer. It's a guy in the UK who's upgraded his pond, shall we say. And it's lovely. It looks great. But he did a video on breaking down all his costs and things. And so I think the line he used was, I would get no change from 25 grand. And it's lovely and all, but my God. Some of the things, and I'm running to this on my own. I've left them all downstairs. Even fittings, pipe fittings. If you just buy like normal ABS pipe fittings or normal PVC pipe fittings, something like that, as soon as you make them pond pipe fittings, the exact same thing doubles, if not triples, in price. So I could literally go on like a Cockney Koi or something like that. It might not be that one, so don't sue me. but I could literally go on one of the pond websites and buy a union or a gate valve or something. I think it was gate valves I was looking at, or ball valves I was looking at, and they wanted something like £120 for like a 3-inch ball valve, and the exact same thing you could buy from like Toolstation or Screwfix or wherever it was for 25 quid. Exact same material. It just it blew my mind. So it's just ridiculous the amount of money that koi people will put on. So it's infuriated me, that, thinking about those. There just seems to be a mindset with some groups of people, and it kind of self-perpetuates as well, where they think, I have to pay a lot of money because everyone else is paying a lot of money, and because I'm paying a lot of money, that means it's automatically good. And anytime I'm challenged on that, I'm going to double down on that and say it's better quality, and say it's got features that just don't exist, to validate myself, my own purchase. And there's no arguing with those people. I do love an argument, but there's no reasoning with those people. It's like ingrained that, no, I've bought this thing, I've made an investment in this thing is the best thing in the world. I won't be told that the exact same thing can be bought somewhere else for half the price. And people are making fortunes off of this stuff. So what do you do? My custom built stream tank run. Oh, that's a project I want to do at some point. Do like a river tank with an actual proper long tank with some good strong flow. Custom built stream tank runs on a Jabo. I can never understand how to say it either. Is it Jabo? CP180 cross flow pump. I get really great flow with it. Yeah, I've never heard. Not never heard bad reviews. I've heard, obviously, there's been some people who have got Duff units and they've been replaced quite easily and well, but everyone that got them, never heard anyone have a bad word to say. Some koi keepers would do well to see a muddy farmer's pond and the carp that live perfectly happily in it. Yeah, I mean, I get where they're coming from. They obviously want the best, and it's the same with like the Zis breeder shrimp thing. It's a plastic jug. Why does it have to cost 35 quid? So some people just like spending their money on their hobby, and they like to have nice things. But for things like pipe fittings that are literally identical to other ones, why would you pay more for that? And you've got these people arguing, saying, oh no, that's not a proper one. This one's triple threaded. No, it's not. That's not a thing. It doesn't exist. Oh, that one's not. It's not fish safe. It's not rated for fish, or it's not licensed for fish use or aquatic use. It's the same chemical composition. It's the same thing. That's not a thing. Stop making up things to validate your argument. But at the same time, it's like golfers. You don't need to spend £1 million on golf clubs, but they'll do it. Koi keepers, if there's something there to buy it, some of them will buy it. What's the smallest tank you've made? I have the challenge of a nano, even if it's shrimp. So the smallest tank I've had has been, I think it's 7 or maybe 12 litres. I used to have a row of them as little snail tanks mostly, but occasionally we'd keep shrimp and things in them. They're cool and all. I had planned to make like an upgraded beta barracks or something like that with them, but in the end, I think I gave them away in the end, or sold them all for cheaps. But they make great little beta tanks. I didn't get on with small tanks very well. I like so that's obviously not a nano tank, but it's a smaller tank. My daughter's tank with Snowball in it, a Snowflake or whatever it's called. Snowflake, if you're watching, sorry. That's like a nice 30 centimetre cube. That's my ideal tank for a nano tank. because things just don't look weird in it. Whereas if you get too small, it's really hard to make it look good or look nice. Now, obviously, if that's for a fish room or something like that, that doesn't matter. But yeah, it's Pico tanks as well. I've never really got into that. That might be something I have to try one day. Who knows? David says, I bought a tank fitting, cost me £18, and the similar thing from B&Q for £2.50. Yeah, I know. You'll notice in my old fish room, all my tank fittings were like the B&Q type. Because that's when my hatred of rebranding products to sell to a different audience, because I did the same thing. I mean, it would have been nice because some of them are good, some of them are fine, and now that I've got my 3D printer, I'm going to print some on my own. But like tank bulkheads and tank overflows, it was always a little bit janky because they were designed for another use. So I'm kind of fine with that if it's a product selling, or a company selling a product that's specifically designed for aquarium use. So you get the bulkhead connectors that have the screw on, like filter guards, not filter guards, but overflow guards. Charge a bit of a premium for that because it's a unique product for that unique use. But when it's like a 90-degree elbow that's just to put an elbow in a pipe run, it doesn't matter whether the pipe run's for an aquarium, for a swimming pool, for a toilet, sink, whatever, it's the same thing. Why does it have to be more? A river tank would be awesome. It would be awesome. I did consider it for a while with the Congo tank, but I decided to just buy a new tank. I'm glad I did. I'm still loving that tank. Oh, I was talking about that earlier, wasn't I? So I've been running it as a kind of low light tank by just having a couple of spotlights shining on it, and I do love the effect of it, but I don't think it's doing wonders for the colours of the fish and me seeing the fish that well. So I might try a little experiment and put it on a bit more light so I can see it a little bit better. It'll still be quite stained and tannin-y with tannins. So I think that'll still work quite well, but we'll see. QC Aquaholic, good evening. How are you doing? Pardon me. ABC says, I have a video showing how I built the stream tank. I'll definitely go and check that out. The idea I had was with a kind of, again, not an original thought, but power heads at one end, some pipework running over underneath the tank, like a false bottom, and then back again. But I also looked at probably the same type of pump that you were talking about. They're using the Brine world quite a lot. It's the gyre style pumps where they're quite long, so they give a quite a long flow. Having that. My dog stepped on a bee. Is everyone else having Johnny Depp and Amber Heard stuff stuffed down their face with every interaction with the interwebs? I don't know what it is. No matter what site it is, no matter what device I'm using, it's all updates about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And veganism, all of a sudden. Where's that come from? I've never said a bad word against a vegan, other than they're very vocal. But like, my Facebook feed, my Twitter, everything's just full of, oh, this is how you fight a vegan. No, this is how you fight a meat eater. So these are the arguments to use. And I'm like, why am I getting this? I've not been nasty to you. And I don't care. I still like my meat. Who knows? All I want from a koi is great quality water. That might cost a lot, but the fish is so expensive it's worth it. Yeah, and I have no problem with people wanting to spend money on their hobby. It's just the ones that justify spending their money on things that just don't matter. I mean, if you want the nicest things, buy the nicest things. So, each to their own. If you add extra light to your tank, don't need to fully light it at all times. True, maybe. Maybe I could just have a light there that when I want to look at it, I can turn it on a little bit. I'm wondering if it's having an effect on the colours of the fish, because in the other tank, the Congo tetras especially, were like super vibrant, whereas now in the more muted light, they're not, obviously. And when I have put on a bigger light straight away, it's not that the light's just not there at that second, because they don't instantly light up again. I'm wondering if the lack of light has made some kind of change to the way they are colouring themselves. But that could be nonsense. It might not be anything to do with that. I don't know how that works. It might be the tannins in the water are having some kind of effect on them. It shouldn't be diet, because I'm feeding them the same things. No, who knows? Who knows? Mine uses a false. I'm just going to have to check out your channel, aren't I? That's going to be easier. Yes, it was the false bottom type ones that I've seen before. For someone who makes so many YouTube videos, I always find it hard to navigate my way around YouTube. A, B, C, A, Q, A, tick. Biotope Creations. Oops. I can tell by the way you. Oop. Sorry, I clicked on one of your videos by accident.
What's it like to get glasses from Moscow?
Let's have a look at the. Is this the one? The DIY stream aquarium build? I really should invest in YouTube Premium, shouldn't I? 73-gallon native stream tank. All from old tanks and a glass bar top. That's how to recycle. Oh, they're really useful, those things. I need to get myself some of them. The angle clamps or the corner clamps. It's a good size. So that's the internal false bottomy bit. That looks very good. I don't mean to be rude by skipping through it. I just don't want to show the whole thing. And shall we go for the big reveal at the end? That looks really good. I'll give you a subscribe. Very nice. Right, I'm going to check out some of your videos later. Back on the big face. Why is it not showing your logo? Will I ever get a chat thing to work? Mary Page Flynn's lurking in the background. TJ Ferrari, we don't pay for water over here, so that makes a huge difference for water. Well, that would make a big difference, yes. Wish I didn't have to. My dirty carpet. My friend invested in an air rifle to try and stop the local heron eating his koi. Not sure that's even legal, but I understand his gripe as his koi are a fortune. They are ridiculously expensive. Wasn't there like a £1 million koi sold recently? Wow. But yeah, I don't think you're allowed to shoot herons. Well, I don't know, maybe you can. Water's cheap, but getting the solids out is hard and expensive. Yes. Kingy DIY, welcome. Can we do a collaboration video together? No, bugger off. A duet? No. That would be awesome. It would be awesome. I don't know if that would ever happen though. Getting some love for that, ABC. It does, it looks great. You should be very proud of that one. Courtney has an opinion. Joey featuring Graham Z, Drunken Love. Oh well, alright then, yeah, I'm down. Give us a ring, we'll sort it out, we'll do some timings. To get some harmonies, I'll start practicing. Best way, lazy spa, inflatable hot tub pump heaters, usually 25 to 35 gallons per minute, has a heat control panel that beeps when faulty. Do you sell spa pumps by any chance? I will definitely look into it. But I do like my G-Able stuff. Who knows? Oh my goodness, we've made it till 10:30 and I haven't done a giveaway of any description. Pardon me. Right, we'll do a little bit of a wheel of Kaylee, if she's still here / awake, because I have been rambling on about nonsense for a while. How many people have we got in here? We've got 50 some people. Thank you very much. It's not really him. If you want to win a prize, there are some rules. You have to click the like button down there. You have to live in the world, and if it's not in the UK, you have to be prepared to pay the postage for me to send whatever it is to you, wherever you are. But other than that, you can win a thing. It's a nice thing. If you don't win a thing, but you want to buy a thing, you can get some of my merch. Go on the worldwide distribution that is Spreadshirt. Or in the UK, you can buy this. You can buy fish food. You can buy all the things that you can buy. Links in the description to my website. Go and check it out. aquariumadventures.co.uk. But for now, about here, I've not even promoted my Discord yet. Discord. We have a Discord server. Lots of fantastic people there having chats about fantastic things. Come and join there. Share your pictures. Give me your ideas. All that good stuff. Check out our Discord. Subscribe, because that's the whole point. That's the name of the game. That's why we're here. But for now, let's give away a wee thing. Did the key rings get lost in the post, by the way? No, they didn't. So if you won something last week, I was holding off all week because Phil said that the pens and more key rings were imminent. And then it just got too busy and I didn't get a chance to do it. So everything will get posted over the weekend for next week delivery, or maybe Monday for Tuesday, Wednesday delivery. I don't have any key rings, so I'm still not decided what I've got, because I've still not got any new key rings. So we'll see whatever it is. But for now, let's promise to give another way, and within 6 to 8 business weeks, you might actually get your prize. I think I'm up to date on prizes, everyone except last one. Except last week's prizes. So if you're still waiting for a prize and haven't got one, feel free to email me and remind me. Sorry, I was just reading some of the comments. But now we'll do another giveaway, and hopefully I'll get... There isn't more pens. No. I like the pens. But I think there's going to be more pens, but there aren't any more pens yet. Joey's already done a hot tub pump DIY video. You love my Welsh accent. I wasn't aware I had a Welsh accent. Anyway, we're doing a giveaway. Stop getting distracted, Graham. So, a wheel will appear here, which will tell you your prize. If it says pen or keyring, that may be substituted for something else. Right, are we ready? Let's see what you could have won. It's going to be... Oh, it looks like a good one. It's a polo slash t-shirt. A polo slash t-shirt is a big one. Woo! Right. Let me just quickly go on and show you what I mean. If you don't win and you still want one of these fantastic prizes, you can go to my website there. Go to shop. Go to merch. Premium t-shirt or polo shirt. If you win tonight, that's what you get the choice of. Just click on one. Choose your colour. Choose your size. Choose your logo. You've got various options. You can have the This Sucks logo. You can have the This Blows logo. You can have the old classic Discus logo, or you can have the cock logo. Various colours you can get things in, and sizes. And then logo, there should be a size chart. Why is that not there again? Oh no, that is right. Small, medium, large, XL, 2XL. I think there's larger sizes, so if you're a big porker like me, you can even get 3XL. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check that for you though. So if you win tonight, tell me all those things that you want. So whether it's a t-shirt or a polo, what colour you want, what size you want, what logo you want, and most importantly, your address. The amount of people that won't tell me their address, or only tell me bits of their address when they win a prize. So all that good stuff, that's what you have to do. And to win it, you have to live in the UK, you have to be a subscriber, or if you don't live in the UK, you have to be willing to pay the postage. Be a subscriber. Be a human. And things. That'll do, won't it? So we'll go to good old Nightbot. Should we do the random number, or should we do a random number or keyword? Let's go with random number. So all you have to do is pick a number between 0 and 50, let's say. And when I say go, start typing. Do not spam. If you get caught spamming, Scott is eagle-eyed. He'll be on to you. If you get caught spamming, you're out. No prize for you. So we want no more than, like, I don't know, non-spam levels of guessing. Every 5 seconds, minimum, maximum, minimum. I don't want, like, you typing numbers as fast as possible. Scott is the judge. If he deems it unfair, and he's very strict, so, you know, just be careful. Go. Scott is the spam police. This is for a t-shirt, remember? But if you're not lucky enough to win one, you can also buy one. You know, they're really good quality. Like I say, this has been washed a bazillion times and it's still really good. Oh, a couple of people are really close. Let me see if I can find any more comments that I need to catch up on while you're all doing that. Oh, Joey, are you off? He's going to reinvent another aquarium. I feel sorry for Joey these days. I haven't been watching any of his videos, so maybe that's why. He's just bought my second-hand pump off eBay result. Oh, it's 2 weeks ago. Yeah, if you won a prize and you haven't had it, feel free to email me, anyone, not just Scott, everyone and anyone, because it's just been mental around here for the last few weeks. And remember, no spam. Still not seeing the number, anyone? David was going to suggest Joey as the keyword. We have a winner! We have a winner! Woo! Mickey has won. Stop typing numbers. Everyone stop typing numbers. Mickey, congratulations. You know the drill. Send me an email where you live, what you want, size, colour, logo, all that good stuff. And we'll get that out to you eventually. Very sorry. But congratulations. Where did we get to? So Mickey's won that giveaway. Shall we do a couple of stickers, or does anyone care about these things anymore? Who knows? I'm going to need an algae wafer sponsor at some point. Well, you're making a rod for your own back, surely, feeding all these fish. What did you say? You got up to 1,000 there. Bristlenose plecos. You need to be raiding the bargain bin at all the supermarkets for all their old courgettes and things like that. See if you can't get some for pennies. That's what I used to do. Freshwater Ichthyology has joined. Good evening. Are you on another night shift tonight? Yes, well done, Mickey. Congratulations. Why is that? Sorry, I'm being distracted by flashing lights. I'm wondering why they're flashing. So Rebecca, Freshwater Ichthyology joining has just reminded me of another topic of fishy conversation that we've been having this week. We were looking at so here in the UK for our international friends, OATA, the Ornamental Aquatic Trade Association. This isn't new. Publish like care sheets for loads of fish. And I think, was it you that had posted it? Well, it certainly got involved in the discussion anyway, where mentioning that some of the advice seemed outdated. And my God, the spirited defence put up by some people as to why blatantly wrong advice is fine because it's from OATA and they're good people. When all we were saying was, but it's wrong. Maybe they should change it. And there was arguments from points of view like, it's not wrong, it's suitable for beginners. No, it's wrong. It's still wrong. It was boiling my head that we should just let them be because they are OATA and they are gods of fish keeping. But there's so many things they've said. I follow them on Twitter, and every now and again they'll put out some weird post making some outlandish claims or some kind of guidance or advice on not necessarily fish keeping all the time, but like business or to do with policy creation or to do with campaigning for one thing over another, and you're like, that's just weird. Why would... So they get a lot of things weird or wrong. I think a lot of the actual shops, fish shops and things like that, love them because they obviously fight for their rights and they're trying to deal with issues that might be negatively affecting our hobby. So I think most of the stuff they do is well intentioned, but I just don't understand this defense of everything they do is perfect because they help us. No, they're still allowed to help you and not be perfect or have room for improvement. So I just couldn't get it. So the one that I was looking at, if I show you this, so if you go on, you can find this website. It's the OATA website. They have these care sheets for everything, and the one that I went to and looked at obviously was Discus. Now my face is going to be in the way. Let's see if I can move that out the way. I don't know if that has actually moved it out the way, but we'll see. So a lot of it is a bit noddy. So one of the arguments was, well, this is clearly information produced for a beginner. Well, they're a trade association. Why are they producing information for beginner fish keepers? They should be producing information for traders. But okay, whatever. So some of it is a bit noddy, and I forgive most. In fact, I forgive all of it. I'm not even picking a big fight with them or anything like that. Glass or plastic aquarium, gravel cleaner, water test kit, tap water conditioner, or RO water if available. This is for a beginner. RO water for a beginner. Zoom in, please. Can't really read it with my eyesight. Do we have the ability to zoom in? Come on, Graham, you can do this. I'm going to need to move my heat again. I'll put me back over here. So all fine, but yeah, why are you telling beginners they need RO water if they don't need RO water? But okay, make sure you have the appropriate equipment and position the aquarium. Yeah, fine, okay. Be familiar how to transport and release fish. You're aware of daily, weekly, and monthly maintenance routine. Yeah, well, fine. It's just a bit generic and a bit meh. And then we get down to this bit here, which is more about the meat of the what we're going to be dealing with. But if you want to keep Discus, this is what you need to know. So Discus belong to this genus. They're the ultimate freshwater tropical species. In fact, I take it back, everything I've said about them, because that's 100% correct. They are cichlids found in the wild in South America. They do not have the same aggressive temperament as many other cichlids, but they have much more specialised care requirements. Alright. These fish are highly sensitive to the water which they live in. No, I don't think that's necessarily true. Temperature 26-30, pH 67.5, ammonia 0, nitrite 0, hardness soft to moderately hard. All kind of fine. Fairly large fish, they do not grow quickly. Maximum body diameter of 20 centimetres might be achieved in ideal conditions, blah blah blah. So, all in all, nothing outrageous. A few things people might go, what? But the key to me was, well, nothing's going to kill anything. You're not going to kill anything by giving this advice. It's not even bad advice at this point. It's just, yeah, okay, I can take all that. It's recommended discus are kept in groups of 4 or 5. Okay, so that was the first one. I went, no, it isn't. Who recommends that? I don't know anyone that recommends keeping them in groups of 4 or 5. The recommended keeping them in a group thing is arbitrary anyway. If you're going to keep 4, what difference does it make whether you keep 4 or 5? But almost every specialist I've ever spoken to has said 6. Now I know there is still some old literature that says keep 5, but again, 5, 6, what's the difference? Keep a group, that's what we're trying to say. No big deal. Keep a minimum tank size of 200 litres. Again, minimums and rules, not keen on them, but it's not bad advice, that's fine. If you have it planted, make sure you've got open swimming spaces. Yep, good filtration. Yep, all good stuff. They live in moderately soft water. In order to achieve this, the use of RO water with added salts and minerals is recommended. No, it's not really. And again, I don't know any specialists that recommend RO. If you want RO because you don't have compatible conditions, that might be a way to go. But almost all domestic discus will adapt to the conditions that you've got if you can find a localish breeder. But I know of one particular supplier in the UK, sends fish all over the UK, and they all do fine. But still, there's good stuff in here. Try where possible to match the water of your retailer. Yep, all good stuff. At least once every 2 weeks, a partial water change of 25 to 30% is strongly recommended. So now we're into strongly recommended. And we're strongly recommending an arbitrary number of between 25 to 30%. Why? And why once every 2 weeks? What's the reason for this specific amount? But again, it's not bad advice. It's probably going to, if you don't know you have to do water changes at all, you might appreciate, oh, that's how much I need to change, and do it every 2 weeks. Most Discus junkies would be doing a lot more than that. But I would argue with them to say that's not required. You don't need to do 100% changes to every 2 days. Filters should be clean. Good customers is essential. Yep, all good, generic, proper advice. Discus are carnivores. I might need to move my face again. Pardon me. This is the one that's just plain wrong. Discus are not carnivores. We feed them meat as hobbyists when we feed them beef heart and things like high protein diets. Pardon me, got a very itchy throat. But that doesn't mean they're carnivores. In the wild, they're not. They eat mostly plant matter, algae, detritus, things they find in the riverbed. They don't eat, they're not carnivores. Just because we feed them meat doesn't make them carnivores. Somebody making a defensive laugh says, well, okay, they're omnivores with a heavy leaning towards carnivores. Even if that was true, which it isn't, they're still not carnivores. An omnivore that leans towards being a carnivore isn't a carnivore. It's an omnivore that leans towards being a carnivore. So you might think, big whoop, what's the big deal? And I would kind of agree with you. It's a mistake. Can we not point out the mistake? And maybe somebody might change it. Do we have to have a full out war or mount some kind of ridiculous defense that, no, it's fine because Owata wrote it. Just leave it as it is. It's for a beginner. But beginners are beginners. Beginners are not idiots. Beginners can follow whatever advice you intend to give them. So it goes on to say here, these fish should be fed what they can eat within a few minutes, 2 to 3 times a day. Bollocks. These fish are grazers. Every discus I've ever had is a grazer. When I first get into discus, this is the advice people were giving, but I've not seen anybody advise that. Anybody knowledgeable or experienced with discus, I've not seen anyone advise that for years, 10 years at least. Every now and again it crops up because somebody reads something like this probably on the internet and shares it unwittingly again. Remove any uneaten food to reduce waste build up. Yeah, good ideas again. And the defence for this bit is, oh, that's good advice because if you actually left food in there a long time, a beginner might forget and it would foul the water. No. If you're going to feed them 2 to 3 times a day and only eat what they can, a beginner's more likely to not realise that food has been swept around behind the back of the ornament that they've got there, and is sitting there festering and fouling the water anyway. But again, it's not terrible advice. You won't kill anything by following this. It's just not great. And because we dared to say, that's not great, this is like, oh my god, I can't believe you're attacking these gods of fish keeping, gods of the fish keeping trades, who are out here defending our livelihoods. You're allowed. Graham saying that's not quite right isn't going to bring down an organisation like Owata. They are good organisations, can handle and should encourage constructive criticism. Why don't you go and write some care guides? I don't want to. Doesn't mean I'm not allowed to comment on some other care guides. oh, well, they're really busy with policy and they're doing all these other things. Okay, I'm not going to form a picket line and start saying people shouldn't support this organisation just because they haven't got round to updating their care sheets. It's just, you're being too academic. I think this was levelled at someone else. You're being too academic about this. Most people don't care. Well, maybe we should listen to the academics every now and again. That's all we're saying. So I had a bit of a look around all the other ones. This is basically copied and pasted. Just, every fish gets this. Doesn't matter what their feeding requirements are. They just get, you feed it every 2 or 3 times a day and only a small amount. And most of it is copied and pasted. I think Rebecca had a big problem with the fact that they just had plecos as like, that's just one fish. If you're on the Discord server, you might have seen some of the stuff about, catfish. Catfish is a thing. They get to 1 meter long. Okay, really? So that was just an interesting evening the other night talking about that. I don't know why it became such a big deal. I don't think there should be a problem with criticising organisations, especially when they are trying to help. I think if an organisation is trying to help your hobby and they're making mistakes, it's kind of your duty to point out the mistakes so as they don't end up hurting the hobby. Because people will end up going, they said what? That's crazy. Well, they're clearly whack jobs. Let's not listen to them anymore. So, I don't know. I don't know what you think about that. So, zoom in, please. Hopefully you could see a little bit of that. Good night, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us for a little bit. People in the trade. It's aimed at people in the trade, so why is it's for beginners? And the language in some of these is clearly not at beginners, but I think that was just an argument put up by some of those guys to justify why the advice wasn't great advice, because, you're an expert, that's why you're expecting a higher standard. No, I'm just expecting it to be correct. You can be a beginner and just get it correct. There's loads on there. I didn't go through every single care sheet looking for it to pick holes in it. I was making my argument that it's all right to criticise. You shouldn't be afraid of criticism. You should accept criticism gladly because it's a chance to get better at doing something. Discus hunting down people in the wild and any wading cows. Exactly. I mean, they will eat meat, but they're not carnivores. That's the whole point of it. As Ben says, I eat steak, but I'm not a carnivore. Exactly. It was a little bit of intrigue. I want them to be good. I want Iwata to exist to help our local fish shops, to help our hobbyists, to raise standards, to do all the things that they're trying to do. This is all well-intentioned stuff. And if they are trying to get into the giving care guides out to beginners, again, well-intentioned and mostly good, or good intention, good direction, but why not update it? A lot of it seems very old. That was just some of the observations. I've seen stores recommend the minute thing. I think most of my fish would have started to death by now if I did that. Yeah. Zoom level was good, thank you. When I make mistakes, I want people to tell me in the comments. Good for the algae rhythm. Yes, that's not necessarily a bad idea. I have watched videos where people have suggested you should intentionally leave some mistakes in your video for people to pick up and get either mildly outraged by, or something that's just so simple that they feel like, oh, that was a simple mistake, I'll just correct them with that one. And then you get a couple of 100 comments saying the same thing, and your video ends up getting promoted. I feel like I've missed something. Who said these things to you? Mutual friends, and none of it was said like it's not Reese or Callum or anyone like that. I think it was said in defence of Owata because Owata are trying to help the industry, and I can understand that, but I wasn't trying to attack the industry, and none of it was said to me. It wasn't aggressive, it wasn't rah, 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 shouting and bawling or anything like that. It was just very spirited defence of, no, everything's fine, you're wrong. Well, I'm not, but it's not a big deal. I'm not organising a posse to go and take them down. They're big enough. I think one of the comments made was they're a big enough company or a big enough organisation to survive the Graham mildly disagrees with some of the things they said scandal of 2022. It wasn't a big deal. It's just, it is what it is. So I would encourage any of my many mistakes that I've made in my videos and any live streams. If I'm doing something stupid, I want you to tell me. I might not agree with you, but I like to know. And it should be like that. I think it makes a more pleasant environment for growth, whether that be personal growth or something along those lines. The ability to accept criticism is a very difficult skill to attain, because often you feel challenged and you feel like it's a challenge and you go into defence mode. And I'm as guilty of that as anyone else. But if you can accept criticism, it speeds up your own development, speeds up to, I believe, and I haven't scientifically studied this, but it speeds up to such a degree once you start to learn, this is actually positive, this is useful. Not just go, no, you're wrong, you're just attacking me, you're just a hater, you're just a this, that, the other. I suspect even Owata might realise that often. So what are you going to do? I'm not going to rewrite all the care sheets. I don't suggest you do. I don't suggest we organise a posse to email them and demand it be changed. It's just an observation that seemed to upset everybody a little bit. But there's some good stuff there as well. So I think the lesson to take away from this is, whenever you get instructions, is be suspicious of the instructions. No, suspicious is probably the wrong word. Be skeptical of any instructions, of any rules, because you don't know who's writing them, and even when it is someone that is qualified, they can still get it wrong. So I think these are all meant to be people with degrees in whether it be biology, whether it would be related areas. So they're meant to be clever, well-educated people, and they're still getting things just ever so slightly off, wrong. Anyone can start a YouTube channel. Anyone can start a Facebook group. Anyone can write a care sheet. Doesn't mean that they've got any expertise, experience, skill. It's all nonsense. Just because I have whatever 12,000 whatever subscribers doesn't mean I know more about how to keep fish X than someone else who has 500 subscribers. Of course it doesn't. It knows I have either been doing this longer than that person, or I'm better at making videos than them rather than keeping fish. It doesn't mean it doesn't equate like that. And same with all these bloody Facebook groups. Half of it's nonsense, and there are obviously really good, knowledgeable, dedicated people out there, but the majority of people are just peddling other people's ideas that they've either misinterpreted or misunderstood. So just be skeptical of any advice. Talk to multiple sources. Make sure you get your information from multiple sources as well, that you're not just randomly Googling how to keep a Corridora and then first thing you find, right, that's the law, everything else must be nonsense, let's move on. It doesn't work like that. Obviously, after a while, when you get to know these sources better, you can start to trust them a bit better, because you know who's a good source of information for whatever specific topic that you're at. But anyone that claims to be an expert on absolutely everything, like some people we all know, generally isn't. And I don't think you should be scared to ask for advice. That's why I want to promote my Discord server, because you can ask there, not on Facebook. Very unlike Facebook, if you ask there, someone will answer you in a polite and generous manner. Whereas if you go on a Facebook group, someone will probably shout at you for asking in the wrong way. Or have some other ulterior motive where that skews their answer, shall we say. Anyway, we're getting near that time. In fact, we might have even gone over that time. Maybe all the biologists at Watto are marine and not freshwater fish, and think of fresh as fish keeping for dummies. Maybe it is. Dee Dee's Fin Den. Hello there, Dee Dee. How are we doing? You've joined us just at the end. Unless you want me to continue rambling about nonsense for the next however many hours. No idea who wrote the originals. I mean, I got the sense, so they're all copyrighted. Pardon me. Oh, let me show you this again. They're all copyrighted OATA 2010, but then they all have May 2013 on it, which makes me think that's when this was released or last updated. So it's nearly 10 years out of date. And that seems about right, because, 10 years ago, people were peddling this kind of stuff. We've just moved on, that's all. It's not WATA's fault that they haven't kept up. No, that's not true. It is their fault they haven't kept up. It's not an offence punishable by death, was the point I was trying to make. Mainly carnivorous isn't a carnivore. Exactly. And they're not even mainly carnivorous. That's the other point. If in doubt, ask Topless Heiko. Well, he's probably written a book about it. Oh, Mickey's become a member again. Over a year. Congratulations. We'll need to get a new button or buzzer or bell or some kind of recognition. New level. That's what we'll have to do. I'm one of those experts as well, Sharpie. I'm also excellent at sitting down and doing nothing. It's one of my favourite hobbies. What's your favourite fish you don't own or would like to own? Now, there's a question. The favourite fish that I don't own or would like to own? Oscars. That's the plan anyway. I know I have some say I have low standards and low tastes, but I've always wanted Oscars, never had them, hopefully have them soon when I finally get my bum in gear and get this tank sorted out. Right, I think we've outstayed our welcome on YouTube. Sorry, or I keep saying we when it's just me. I have overrun. If you want to continue in your fishy journey, we've got Coldwater Aquatics have started streaming, I believe. There you go. Scott is put the link in chat already. So if you want to do that, go over there. If you don't...
Oh, my balls.
Oh, my balls. Thank you, Mickey. Join the Discord server. There's usually people hanging out in there after the stream, and you can just have all kind of chats, discussions, introduce yourself, show some pictures, all that good stuff. That's great. For motivation for Mega Tank. Mega Pint, that would be nice right now. But for now, we'll sign off. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, it's been emotional, and we'll see you at the same time next week. But I didn't even get to tell you about me going to Alton Towers tomorrow. So prepare for some aquarium pictures when I go to the Shark Bait Reef in Alton Towers. Bye!